Have you ever wondered how some leaders just inspire people to act, while others just seem to give orders? Well, today, we're going to unpack the blueprint for that. We're exploring what I like to call the architecture of influence.
So let's just dive right in. This is the big question, isn't it? It's at the heart of every single team, every project. What is the real secret to motivating people? Not just to get them to show up, but to get them to truly lean in and act with purpose. You know, if you think the answer is a bigger title or a louder voice, you might be looking in the completely wrong direction. We're going to see that true, lasting influence, it isn't about command and control. It's about carefully, intentionally building something powerful with your people.
And here it is. This is the blueprint for that structure. Our whole explainer today is built on these three core pillars. First, we're going to talk about fostering collaboration. Second, creating the right climate. And third, enabling personal control. So, let's start laying that foundation.
Okay, so if we're building something, where do we start? What's that first, most critical piece? Well, in leadership, the foundation is always about the people.
And that brings us right to our first pillar, fostering collaboration. This is the bedrock. It's all about human connection. Because think about it, before you can guide anybody or inspire anyone, you have to connect first. It's absolutely the essential first step.
The most influential leaders, they actually think of their teams as a family. Now, that doesn't mean there are no disagreements, of course not. What it means is that they build this deep sense of shared purpose, of loyalty, of we've got each other's backs. It fundamentally changes the whole dynamic from me to we.
So how do you actually get there? Well, there are three clear actions. First, you've got to be involved and in touch. That means getting out from behind the desk and actually understanding the real-world challenges your team is facing. Second, you have to care, and I mean deeply care about your people as individuals, not just cogs in a machine. And finally, you use that involvement and that care to build these really effective, cohesive teams where trust is just the default setting.
All right, so our foundation is poured. We have established connection through collaboration. That's huge. But a strong foundation needs the right structure built on top of it, right? And that brings us to creating the perfect environment for this team to thrive.
Look, a connected team is a fantastic start, but you can't plant a flower in concrete and expect it to grow. So the critical question is, what's next? How do you create an environment where success isn't just possible, but it's kind of inevitable?
And this leads us to pillar number 2, creating the right climate. I want you to think of yourself as a master gardener. A great team, it's like a rare orchid. It needs more than just good soil. It needs the perfect atmosphere, like a greenhouse, to truly blossom.
This slide really gets to the core of what we mean by climate. It's the sum of all the conditions you create. It's the psychological safety, the trust, the encouragement. It's the feeling that allows people to take risks, to be creative, and to do their absolute best work without being afraid to fail.
And just like that, our second pillar is in place. So let's take stock. We've got a connected team, that's our foundation, and they're operating within a positive, supportive climate. That is a really powerful combination. But there is one final, crucial piece to this entire architecture.
So the team trusts each other. The environment feels supportive. What's that final piece of the puzzle? What's the thing that turns all this potential into peak performance? What truly unlocks an individual's motivation? The answer is our third and final pillar, enabling personal control. And this is a big one. This is all about handing over the keys. It's a profound shift from managing people to actually empowering them with autonomy over their own work and really their own success.
And here's the difference in stark contrast. On one side, you have the micromanager, right? Pulling all the strings, controlling every tiny decision. On the other side, you have the truly influential leader. They're the ones who enable a sense of ownership, who foster real autonomy. They trust their team to find the best way forward.
So let's just pull it all together. The architecture of influence, it's not some rigid top-down hierarchy. It is a dynamic, human-centered structure that you build every single day. And it stands on these three unshakable pillars: the connection you foster, the climate you create, and the control you enable.
And so this is the thought I really want to leave you with. As you go back to your teams, your projects, I want you to look at your own architecture of influence. Which of these three pillars, connection, climate, or control, needs the most attention right now? Because deciding where you're going to start building first, that could be the most important decision you make.